What part does willpower play in the awakening process, if any? Don't I use some willpower to motivate myself to follow your teachings? I must listen to Eckhart now. I don't want to, but all morning I've been looking for something that I lost. I wonder if you know what it is.
A personal sense of self can return even during our retreat. The complaining heavy me is back. It can come upon you suddenly as you sit here, and you may have to run out of the room. Now, don't let this stop you from going to the bathroom if you need to.
To be enlightened, how does it feel like?
Feels good.
I think I have to go through the mental process of understanding this, and what will I get out of this?
The ego creates, of course, a goal. I want to reach that goal. In the same way that before it created other goals that it either reached or did not reach. Either way it wasn't satisfying. But enlightenment, that's it. I want to go for that. And then of course it wants to know, okay, but what exactly does that mean? I want to know what I'm striving towards, because it might be the wrong thing. Maybe when I achieve it, I won't be there anymore, or maybe the only way to achieve it is for me to dissolve. I don't know if I want it anymore. I think I'm going to ask Eckhart that question. What I can tell you, in addition to what I've already said, is enlightenment will not satisfy your ego. Sorry about that. When I first got my iPhone 2 years ago, then I got my first text messages, which looked quite miraculous. And then often I didn't reply until the next day or 2 days later. And then I was told, this is not according to text message etiquette. When I lived in England, in the country, in that alternative town Glastonbury for 3 years, I lived in a cottage, and since my income was not enough, I had to rent out a room upstairs in my cottage. So I had to, over these 3 years, a few people. The room became vacant. I advertised in the local paper. Several people came to apply and finally chose a young woman who had just been offered a job in that town. She came, she moved in, and after the first night in her room, she came down for breakfast into the kitchen, which was a shared kitchen, and she said, "I can't stay here." I said, "What's wrong?" It's just a feeling, and I always listen to my feelings. I just can't stay. There's something not right. So I was very nervous, and I said, "Okay, that's fine." And that she found that very disconcerting because she had expected a more conventional response, which would have been, what? I've interviewed all these people, I've chosen you, and now what, you're doing this to me? You're not getting your rent money back that you paid in advance. But I said, okay, I'll give you your money back, it's fine. So she was even more confused after that. And he said, I'll spend one more night or 2 more nights. She spent the second night. And then in the morning she said, no, I think I'll stay. I have a different feeling now. And I said, oh, that's fine, that's good. And again, she was a little disconcerted because the conventional response would have been, which I did do, I just put another ad in the paper, and now you're telling me this? And so she decided to stay, and a few weeks later, when I got to know her better, she explained to me that that first night she was in her bedroom and she said, I found you so weird that I thought you might creep in the middle of the night and murder me.
Most of the people here want to come and hug you. So my question is that simple. If it doesn't make a matter for you, I really want to give you a big hug from...
Oh, okay. Okay.
So can I?
Wonderful, thank you. Well, that was a wonderful question.
Why is love not reciprocated? Why does one-way love traffic situation arise? I am placing my aching heart before you. Please operate. Thank you, thank you. All right, I will begin the operation.
But it started when I was writing A New Earth, and then I couldn't focus on anything else while I was writing, and then things started to accumulate. And now I still get all these manuscripts and books sent, and some of them are taking up more and more space at my place, so let's not go there. But
Satnam Eckhart, I go to bed with you at night. It's very nice to see you here in person.
Well, I did workshops in the 80s and early 90s. There was one evening talk in England that had been scheduled. Nobody turned up. So I was alone, I just sat there. But I had my privacy. And somebody had organized a workshop for me, and I arrived for a weekend, Saturday and Sunday. One person turned up, waiting at the door, and said, okay, let's do it.
I mean, I know it's okay, but do you cry? And because I see you as an example of when I deal with something, I'm always thinking, what would Eckhart do, you know?
Occasionally people see me having a cup of coffee somewhere and say, why do you need coffee? You've written You've written all these spiritual books and now you still need coffee? I don't know if I need it, I just enjoy a cup of coffee. And I drink a glass of wine or two, occasionally with dinner. You drink alcohol? Well, if my state of consciousness is so fragile that a glass of wine would upset it, then it can't be worth very much. And there is an alertness associated with presence, but it is a relaxed alertness, not a tight alertness. It's not a... No, it's a... You see the difference? It's easier acting it out than talking about it. It's not the tight, almost fearful alertness that is the... Or even some anger behind it. And that's good, and as consciousness awakens in you more, the awareness arises, it does tend to dissolve those patterns, as I said, that really F up your life.
Okay, thank you.
I was at the supermarket waiting, and the cashier was the slowest that I've ever seen, perhaps in my entire life. And not only did she not know what she was doing, she also engaged every customer in a long conversation. And even I, who is usually okay with these things, could feel a small amount of irritation creeping up, and then immediately I let it out and it went away, and then another one came. But by the time I finally reached her, the irritation fortunately was gone and I was present again, and when she saw me, she said, "Oh, I've been waiting to meet you all my life." And I'm only speaking right now of the external world, which says, I need your attention. This and everything that arises says, this matters absolutely, and it's serious. This situation is very serious. We have to do something now. Okay. We have to let these people go, 50 people, we have to let them go. We can't afford to keep them any longer. Okay, sack them all. What next? So that we can be profitable and make a success, become a success. What for? I don't know. The company needs to grow. It needs to grow. What for? So that more people can be part of it and more people can be unhappy. Grow. A little tip for you for the next few days, and this is a good tip even to take beyond this retreat, is not to take your mind too seriously.